Have you ever felt behind in life? Probably yes. If not, you must be a monk living in the Himalayas. So, you just don't need to keep watching this video. For all other young men, whether they're enduring the difficulties of understanding themselves in their 20s, figuring out how to settle in their 30s, or just reinventing themselves in their 40s, with also the pain of being somewhere other than where we've imagined. It's the gap between our expectations and the reality life has carved for us, revealing the challenging truth of existing in the physical world. For years, I've struggled with one question: am I competent enough? This doubt was like a cancer that caused more damage than good. It burned my creativity, distorted my ideas, warped my perception, and left me comparing myself to every intellectual in my field, until I ended up feeling stuck. I was either leaving projects unfinished or just talking about them without taking action. Until recently, I struggled with my perception of my work, believing it was nearly impossible to change. Until that day, when I decided to embrace that feeling of inner void, that sense of never being enough, and dig deeper into its roots. I wished I would see something different from my own nature, but the reality was a form of narcissism, a yearning to be recognized for my art. I faced a clear but formidable challenge: mastering my inner voice, that part of my psyche that could hold me back. While it still emerges today, I've developed a powerful way to work with it, creating a new language that transforms our dialogue into something productive. This shift was transformative. I understood that by embracing rather than suppressing these feelings, I found I could channel insecurity into heightened awareness and transform self-doubt into creative expression through my art. But what art are you talking about? My artistic journey took a decisive turn when I confronted the question: what's the worst fault that'll make you a great therapist? I paused, I sat with this question, and I didn't understand the essence that would eventually make sense. So I didn't move for days and days. I felt stuck. And I was still deeply challenged by what this inquisitive question represented to me. I had to understand that asking provocative questions isn't just acceptable, it's crucial. I had to understand that being irrelevant is an art. I know that you're skeptical. You probably wonder, it's a nonsense. How come irrelevancy can lead you to get straight to the point? Don't quit the video now, that's for real. It has even a name, the Maieutic Method, or in other simple words, the art of asking calibrated questions. But let's give a little bit of context. Back 6 years ago, you could have called me a coach, therapist, or maieuticien in French. But it didn't matter, all I wanted is how to ask precise questions. For 6 years, I dedicated myself completely to Maieutic. I immersed myself in writing my thesis and mastering the art of meaningful silence. This became the cornerstone of every interaction.
Even my conversation at home transformed.
I really must apologize to my parents, as I became quite a challenging housemate, dissecting every casual "how are you" into deeper philosophical inquiries. My quest led me across continents, including a pivotal journey to Athens. While my wallet certainly felt the impact, my understanding deepened with every step. I dove into philosophy, reading extensively and traveling to uncover new perspectives. Every word, every gesture became meaningful. From someone's attitude to their personal appearance, from the flow of conversation to their eating habits, I developed a keen eye for these personality traits, each one revealing deeper truths about human nature. Life became my laboratory, and I was certain this enlightened state would last forever. But that was just my naivety speaking. In September 2022, I faced the crushing truth. The dream of making a living through my art seemed impossible. And for a moment, I was trapped in a silence that echoed with boredom and loneliness, suffocated by doubt again and again. That belief made me almost quit the field for which I've unconditionally loved for the past 3 years. The worst part? I knew I was talented, yet I felt very lost, without purpose, without vision. Time slipped by, and with it, my hope faded. The world seemed to move forward, but I remained stagnant, drawing in a mental fog, stuck in an endless loop of uncertainty. Every breath I took felt heavier than the last. Is there any way out of this? I asked myself, over and over. Watching those closest to me thrive only deepened my anxiety, until I came to a stark realization. I had to find a man who would risk everything for his heart, who would die for it. That one line pierced through the fog, swept out everything I thought I knew, and it changed my life forever. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you're capable of living. Nelson Mandela, a man whose art was not paint or canvas, but the raw fight for justice through activism. His message seemed to me as get out of your bed, lock in, and rise to the occasion. That's when everything changed for me. I knew I had to transform the air around me to reset my mind. I anchored myself, lighting an incense, a small but powerful act to clear the mental fog. One peace settled within me. It was time to rise and shine. I poured out my most audacious ideas, my wildest goals, and the vision of the life I was determined to create. No limits, no hesitation. I saw myself in places I had only dreamed of, living a life that resonated with purpose. I mapped that vision along a single line, meticulously designing the values, behaviors, and actions I would follow to annihilate my self-doubt, to crush my hesitation for the next 5 years. I knew one thing: unless I made my purpose crystal clear, nothing else would matter. On one side of the line, I saw my frustrations, an existence in 5 years, unfulfilled and governed by self-criticism, fear, and the consequences of dishonoring my values. On the other side, I saw the life I craved: joy, fulfillment, conscious work, a life where success wasn't the goal, but the daily act of playing the game as it was my last. No second chance, because tomorrow wasn't promised. I might lose sleep, I might never tick off every box on my to-do list, but what matters is I keep moving forward. It's hard, yes. Not everyone will make it, yes, and that's okay. Every day, since that realization, I've carved out the space I needed. First, to think clearly, then to create room for my dreams and visions. I've channeled them into my art, using them to connect more deeply with each person who comes to me, without being overwhelmed, without losing sight of what truly matters. Even though self-doubt still creeps in from time to time, there's no room for hesitations. No time to waste questioning whether it will work or not. I meet my client, I step into the moment, I consult. At the end of it all, I aim to make them realize something far deeper than they imagined about themselves. I want them to understand that the truth they hold about who they might be is just as flawed as Socrates' own confession. No one was more ignorant about the arts than I, he said. No one was more convinced that artists held beautiful secrets. Yet, I saw their condition, and it was no different from that of the poets. Both were trapped by the same misconceptions, the most skillful among them, because they excelled in their craft, believed themselves the wisest of men. But I saw through it that presumption, believing that mastery makes one the wisest, actually tarnished their knowledge. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.